Team up with Hulk. I would really like to do Spider-Man and Hulk. We had a really cool little sequence that was going to be an Endgame at one point.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. The international press tour for Spider-Man Far From Home has officially kicked off, which means over the next month and leading up to the release of the movie, we're going to be getting a ton of new sound bites, interviews with the cast, and specifically Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland. And while we all know what he's good for, even though he's been much better over the last 24 months with the coaching he's gotten from Sony and Marvel Studios on not giving up spoilers, he's still good for a ton of information, including what he told us about Avengers Endgame, a deleted scene with Hulk, and how he'd like to cross back over. We're going to play a ton of the clips in the audio for you guys, and like I said, over the next month, there'll be a ton of new interviews coming out, sound bites, leading right into the release of Spider-Man Far From Home, and then right after that, San Diego Comic-Con. So first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, one at the 400,000 subscriber mark, which we are right around the corner from. We're also giving away a ton of tickets to go see Spider-Man Far From Home in IMAX. Once they go on sale, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and play the footage for you guys, let you hear what Tom Holland had to say, not only about Avengers Endgame and the sequence with the Hulk that didn't make the final cut, but the new movie Spider-Man Far From Home, the new suit, where Spider-Man's at, and we'll do a quick breakdown at the end, but for now, just go ahead and listen to Tom Holland at this latest comic panel.
Team up with Hulk. I would really like to do Spider-Man and Hulk. We had a really cool little sequence that was going to be an Endgame at one point, which was just basically Mark and I messing around on set, and then we were like, we should shoot this, and it actually was quite cool. But yeah, I think Hulk's my favourite character. I think he's so funny, so I would really like to team up with Hulk. I think that'd be a lot of fun. For us in the MCU right now, people who blipped, I don't even know if that's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
But that's what we called it on set.
Tom, watch out for spoiler, okay?
I will watch out.
Okay.
I will watch out. Don't worry yourselves. But we blipped. But I can't explain.
Okay,
Hang on. The people that blipped, no time has passed.
Alright.
This is when my phone starts ringing.
Okay. You stop right there.
So basically the people that blipped, no time has passed. So Peter Parker, when he comes back to this universe, it's like he blinked and 5 years has gone by. So it's a really kind of interesting thing to try and deal with.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun with John Watts and the producers at Sony and Marvel trying to figure out how we were going to kind of tackle that crazy concept. Why is it red and black? That's a good question. I think because it looks cool. I don't think there's actually any function as to why it's red and black. One of the cool new functions, which is great for me, is that the new web shooters are inbuilt into the suit, so I don't have to wear those bracelets anymore. Because those bracelets would break all the time, and then they'd get stuck, and you couldn't take them off, and they were kind of annoying. So in the new suit, the web shooters are actually built into the suit, which is really great. And then the stealth suit is a really cool piece of art, and it's basically given to him by Nick Fury. There's a really funny scene of how I get the suit. It's really funny, and it's awesome because I can go to the bathroom. It has a zipper. Tony Stark was a mentor, albeit at times not the best mentor. But Nick Fury in this film is recruiting Spider-Man to come and fight these elemental creatures at the worst time possible, because Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is exhausted and he needs to just take a break from this huge responsibility as being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So the relationship between Peter and Nick Fury is a little rocky, and they're not friends, and they butt heads quite a bit. So it was quite nice for me to get to play a different side of Peter Parker, because he kind of gets on with everyone. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see, how Nick Fury and Peter Parker kind of come across to the world. It's interesting because in the first film, he was eagerly trying to become an Avenger. And in this film, he's eagerly trying to kind of not be an Avenger. He's a 16-year-old kid, and he wants to go on his school trip with his friends to Europe and experience life as a normal teenager. But unfortunately, being Spider-Man for him is a responsibility he just can't shake. So this film is all about him realizing that with the loss of Iron Man, the world needs someone to step up and fill his shoes, and whether that's Spider-Man or not, he needs to be the one to step up and make a difference in the world and fight these elemental creatures that have come through this dimensional rift snap thing to save the world. So he deals with grief in his own way, and I think I deal with grief and loss in a similar way, where I kind of keep myself busy and I don't allow myself time to really think about it. So that's why he's going on this vacation, because he's just tired.
And there you have it. Like I said, Tom Holland getting much better at not dropping spoilers, being very conscious of what he's talking about, but still able to speak thoughtfully about Spider-Man Far From Home and Avengers Endgame, of course alluding to this sequence we never got to see. Now thinking back about Endgame, there would have been only 2 instances in which Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland would have been able to interact, either A, during the final battle, either mopping up Chitauri and or while Peter has the Infinity Gauntlet, although that was already a jam-packed scene, and then B, it could have taken place during the funeral or what they thought at the time was a wedding. It would make sense why they were goofing off if they thought they were at Tony and Pepper's wedding, when in reality they were actually at a funeral, and that's why the scene was cut. Now what I think is most interesting about this is Tom Holland saying he'd like Spider-Man to cross over with Hulk of all characters. I don't think it's any coincidence that whomever asked him this at the panel did so on the heels of a week in which Spider-Man 3 was rumored to cross Venom over from the Spider-Verse, introduce Deadpool into the MCU, and perhaps also be responsible for introducing Norman Osborn and the Sinister Six by extension. I think it's awesome someone asked him his opinion, and of course we all know that Mark Ruffalo still has 1 movie left on his contract. Now that's outside of a contract extension with Universal Studios. I've had several other videos, especially one this week, arguing that no actor, including Mark Ruffalo, would want to walk away from the MCU. They'll come back and do these movies as long as people will have them. Chris Hemsworth is the only one I think who's been as public in saying so, but there's no doubt all of them would come back. They may have a little fatigue now, so they could cross him over in a full-length movie, although it would be much more likely that he would only make a cameo, and that would not fulfill his contract obligation. Now, all of this is in lieu of the fact that we have no idea if they'll re-sign the rights with Universal to keep using the Hulk, and speaking of rights, we also don't know the specifics still with what's going on with Tom Holland's contract, Sony, and the negotiations with Marvel. A lot of us have guessed at this point that those negotiations were actually finalized under the table and just haven't been made public yet, as no one can seem to agree how many movies were on that initial signing agreement between Sony and Marvel Studios. Everybody's saying 6 now, but at the time it was commonly believed to be only 4 or 5, so we shall see. Now the other 2 really interesting things that Tom Holland talked about, firstly was his new suit and the upgrade. He said that he didn't know why the suit was black and red. Maybe he didn't know about the origins of the Ditko colors, and also maybe he didn't want to give away that they're a combination of both suits. He was possibly just honing in on the fact that if he said, oh well, it's black and red because we used the black from the stealth suit and the red from the original blue and red Tony Stark suit, that it would be a huge spoiler giveaway, and he was so focused on avoiding that he didn't understand the color origin. It's also possible he just didn't know, but I really like that he talked about the web shooters, now how they're new, they're built into the suit, and it sort of avoids that whole weird thing with the bracelets that was going on during the first movie. And the second really interesting thing that he talked about was not only Peter Parker's frame of mind being exhausted and needing a break, but the blipped, the name they had for it on set, for the people that were snapped, and the challenges that Spider-Man Far From Home are going to face in explaining all of this and answering all the questions we've got about the disparity for those who were snapped and those who weren't. It's pretty awesome that they had to do this and that they were cognizant of it. Of course, he also went on to say that Peter Parker really wanted to be an Avenger in the first Spider-Man movie, and now it's quite the opposite. The dichotomy between where he was then and where he is now really shows a lot of maturity and quite the arc for Spider-Man going into what we all hope is that solo third film that I guess is going to introduce Venom and Deadpool and the Sinister Six, and now maybe feature the Hulk. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Is it going to be an awesome month when you've got Tom Holland on all of these interviews. There's no way he's not going to drop something. All I'm saying is I'm really glad it's post Avengers Endgame. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you think about all this, how awesome a Spider-Man Hulk crossover film would be, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, one at the 400,000 subscriber mark, which is right around the corner. We should hit that by the end of the month, if not in the next couple of weeks. Also, we're giving away a PlayStation 4 Pro over on my Spotify account, Allfires. It's free and easy to enter that one as well. All you have to do, follow the links down in the comments and description below. If you have an account, great. If you don't, it's free to make one. Follow my Spotify account, Allfires, stream the song, then send the screenshot of you doing that to everythingalwaysYT@gmail.com. Far fewer people are going to do this than subscribe at the channel. It'll greatly boost your odds of winning a PlayStation 4 Pro. We're also giving away tickets to go see Spider-Man Far From Home in IMAX once they go on sale, as well as awesome Marvel prizes throughout the year. If you want to win any of the stuff at the channel, the tickets, the PlayStation, all you have to do here is hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.